Hi guys, it's Mark here from the BMF Academy. So this next exercise is going to be, again, it's going to be the dumbbell bench press, which you guys will have already seen and looked at the technical model. Our main focus on this one is just going to be the spotting position that Andy is going to be in and the passing of weights that Andy is going to be in when I'm performing the exercise. So you can see I'm already set up for the exercise. My feet are flat on the floor, sort of 90 degrees through the knees, not a wide stance, but feet at either side of the bench. So I'm in quite a strong position now to be able to push and lift the load. You've noticed my upper body, a little bit of thoracic extension through my spine, so my chest is lifted slightly. You will be able to see there's a slight arc in my lumbar spine, so my lower back. Andy would probably be able to slide his hand between my back and between the bench, which isn't really an issue. My shoulders are nice and in contact with the bench, which is what we want, and my feet are in contact with the floor, and my hips are also in contact with the bench. So the fact that I've got a little bit of thoracic extension is actually quite a good thing. It's going to allow me to move a little bit better. So I'm in the correct position. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what happens when we start passing weights and when we start adopting a spotting position for our clients. So if we look at this position here, we can see that Andy has picked the weight up from the floor. So he's deadlifted the weight from the floor. My arm has come up and my arm has also come out. So my arm has started to come away from my body. So you can also see my hand is now in contact with the dumbbell. I'm about to take hold of the dumbbell. Andy is still in contact with the dumbbell. So the two key important points here are at all points at the minute, there are two sets of hands on that dumbbell. Okay, so Andy's in control, I'm also in control. The dumbbell is also away from my body. Okay, the reason we do this is if for some reason I don't have control of the dumbbell, Andy doesn't have control of the dumbbell, and for some reason the dumbbell falls to the floor, the only place it is going to go is it's going to go to the floor. If that dumbbell was on top of me and my arm was in a position for me to be able to do the bench press, so it's right above my chest, again, if that same scenario happens, the dumbbell's going to hit me. And we don't want to be in a situation where we start dropping weight onto our client. So always make sure that that arm comes away from the body when we start passing weights. So you'll notice from here, the arm starts to move in. So the arm has now moved into the position for me to be able to perform the exercise. Okay, you can see that there's still two sets of hands on the body, sorry, on the dumbbell, which is what we want. At this point, what would happen is I would say to Andy, my weight. He would then say your weight. So we both know that I am now in control of the dumbbell. He can take his hands off, he can move round the other side and just complete the same task with the other dumbbell. Okay, so I've now started to perform the exercise. Andy has adopted a spotting position. At the minute, he's in a squatting position, which that's a position that he's quite comfortable being in. You guys can be in more of a split stance position, so rear knee can be on the floor. Whatever you feel comfortable in and whatever you feel stable enough in to be able to spot. Okay, because what you're trying to do here is if I start to struggle or if I start to fail, Andy's just going to assist me. If Andy is off balance and Andy is quite unstable, then it's going to make his job a lot harder, or he might not even be able to perform the task. And again, the dumbbells start to land or wherever, they could go anywhere. So make sure you're in a real stable position. You can see that his hands are just tracking my elbows really. So he's not grabbing hold of the dumbbells, he's not taking hold of the wrists, he's just tracking my elbows. And what's going to happen, if I need a little bit of assistance, all he's going to do is going to apply a little bit of a pressure just above the elbow towards the bottom of the tricep, just to try and allow me to complete that movement, okay? If the load gets too heavy, then we want to try and encourage our clients to, they just need to drop the weights if that's the case. Safety is always the most important thing. So if we need to, we just need to get rid of the dumbbells as quick as we can. Okay, so obviously in that instance, Andy didn't need to spot me. But again, it's still good to be in a position so you are ready, you are there and prepared to spot your client if you need to. So at the minute, we're now just removing the weight. So we're just repeating the same process that we did earlier, but just in reverse. So that dumbbell at the minute is still right on top of my chest. It's where it was when I was performing the exercise. Andy starts to come in. He takes a hold of the dumbbell. We've both got two hands on the dumbbell. And we're just going to remove the dumbbell by moving my arm away from my body whilst we're both still in control of that weight. Once the arm is away from my body, again, we'll both communicate. Andy will say my weight, I'll say your weight, the dumbbell will then go down to the floor.